Hi everyone, I'm Edyta Sitar from Laundry Basket Quilts. Welcome to Quilting Window. I am so happy you are here. You know, I love blue collections, and every time a brand new collection comes up, I think of beautiful quilts that I can make with blue and light fabrics. Do you love blue and light quilts like me? I hope so. The quilt behind me that you see right here called Supernova, and this quilt is a variation of a pine Burr pattern. I have this pattern in our book called Season in Blue. Look at this. This book is so wonderful. Season in Blue book has 16 beautiful blue and light quilts. There are pages full of designs, but this quilt, Supernova, has caught my eye. If you do not have the book, we also have this pattern available as individual pattern. Like I said, the name is Supernova. So you can go ahead to our website at laundrybasketquilts.com and get the pattern. And speaking of beautiful new collections, guys, did you see Cocoa Blue? It is stunning, but maybe some of you have purchased from us this beautiful bundle, Blue Escape. This also could be a perfect fabric for this quilt. Or if you are a fan of our winter blues and winter lights, those bundles are always available on our website. Now, would you like me to show you how to make a block from this quilt? I think you maybe enjoy Lou company and Lou help, because it's always nice to get extra tips and extra tricks that are helpful when you're making a difficult design like this. Don't you worry, we're gonna start with one step at a time and do it together. Come closer. I start by making half square triangles. I have chose this light blue for these triangles right here. Okay, so all that I'm gonna do is place them right sides together, stitch, then flip into the flip it open and push the seam allowance towards the blue. The next step, I'm going to go ahead and clip my bunny ears just like this. Make sure your half square triangle units are the correct size, beautifully pressed. Now the next step that I'm going to do is I'm going to sew my half square triangle into this unit and finish with one light half square triangle. Then I'm gonna need a second one that it's like this. Look at this. So right there you have a one unit where the blues are right here, triangle, pay attention to it, then a second one, triangles, the blue triangles are turned around and they're right here, and finish with a light. I'm gonna keep those two in front of me because they're gonna come helpful for the next step. I'm gonna cut a diamond and a half a diamond. I cut this with the template F. The templates are in the pattern, so you can trace them to a paper and then cut it, or if you're getting a full pattern, all the templates are printed for you as well. So all that I'm going to do is cut my pieces. Now guess what, I'm gonna take the diamond, place it right sides together with the triangle. Notice it how I position. I have a little bit of the triangle sticking up here. I match the points right there perfectly together, and I'm gonna stitch it from the top straight down. Then this side I'm gonna match it up just like this, just like this. Let me go ahead and match it right here, where I'm gonna have a little bit of the tip sticking up right there, stitch it down, and there's a little bit right here that it's sticked out. When I finish stitching, notice it and make sure you pin it. Make sure you pin it. This is the units that I'm going to have. Notice it how nice everything match. I'm gonna fold this back so you see this overlap. Notice how much it overlaps right here as well as here. Anytime you have problem matching points, it's good to go back to your templates and see. Let me show you the template and look at this. It's right here. Those are the sewing points. This is a sewing point. This is a sewing point. So you can also always go ahead and mark those points on to your fabric. I like to use sew line pencil to mark them, but when I get lost, when I don't know how to match my units, I go back to the templates and I look at it. Where are the sewing points? How much room I have? Okay, so that's what you would do. The next thing, I'm gonna sew this unit to this unit. I'm gonna place them right sides together, just like this. And the most important point is this point right here, right there, because we want to have a really nice diamond point. And I'm gonna go ahead, match them, get my pin right there, put it right in that spot, push it through, and look, it came out right exactly where I needed. How nice and lucky. I'm gonna go ahead and push this to the side. I'm gonna start sewing from the top straight down. I'm gonna be paying attention. Those threads right here tells me where to cross right there with my stitches. Then I'm gonna keep going and finish stitching. As soon as I finish stitching, I'm gonna get a beautiful unit like this. Notice how nice the point looks right here. I didn't lose the point on a diamond. My triangles are matching up, and I'm gonna make 4 of those units for one block. 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of those units for one block. Now another unit that I need is gonna be the center of my star right here of my block, and that center is a 8-point star. 8-point stars are so much fun, and I highly recommend you watch our beginner 8-point star video, because there are a lot of detailed direction in that one. You're gonna cut diamonds, you're gonna cut them in light and a dark, you're gonna place the diamonds right sides together, you're gonna stitch, stop, back stitch 1/4 inch away from this side. You're gonna repeat this 4 times because you want to create 4 units like this of 2 diamonds. I have already done that. I made beautiful units. Now I'm gonna go ahead, push the seam allowance towards this fabric right here, towards the dark. Then I'm gonna place 2 of the units right sides together, and I'm gonna stitch from the top straight down. I'm gonna clip those bunny ears to give a good housekeeping. Then I'm gonna go ahead and sew 2 more together to make another half of my 8-point star. Sew 2 halves, and I have a beautiful 8-point star. Once I have my 8-point star done, I'm gonna start by putting triangles in first, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put my background from my squares also in. How do I do this? I'm gonna fold it, I'm gonna pull it back, and now I'm gonna be able, let me do it on this side, I'm gonna be able to go ahead and place a square just like this, right over, just like this, right there, stitch, stop, back stitch, and look at, I'm gonna flip this whole unit and finish sewing from here straight out. For detailed directions on how to make 8-point stars, please watch our beginner 8-point star video. Once I have all 4 corners done, I'm ready, set, go for my next step. And I want to bring you to this step because this one is so important. I have my center block done. Now I'm gonna be sewing my units, and this is how you place your unit. I'm gonna keep this part on the bottom, I'm gonna have my square on the top, I'm gonna mark 1/4 inch points on my unit below and on my 8-point star unit. I'm gonna pin in those areas exactly where 1/4 inch is, and now I'm gonna go ahead and stitch from the 1/4 inch straight down. Notice what happened. I'm not sewing edge to edge, I actually sew over, and I'm gonna lose some of these triangles, but that's okay. In a traditional pine bird design, you have an arch. I didn't want to do the arch, I want a straight cut on this, and I decide the best way to do it is actually pin it, sew it, and that way you know you trimmed it off anything that you didn't want it right there. Now I'm gonna flip this open. I'm gonna sew another one on the opposite side. Now I need 2 more on this side and this side. Let me do one with you guys. So look at it. I'm gonna place the light unit in the bottom, and I'm gonna be right here on the top. I have to push this because I want to see where my 1/4 inch is. I'm gonna go ahead and pin it in that spot because this is where I want everything to match, and this is where I'm going to be sewing. I'm also gonna take a second pin and put it on the seam allowance to hold it down so it's not rolling as I start sewing here and I have to go to this side. Later on I'm gonna trim this off right there, or if you wanted to, let me go ahead and show you. You can go ahead and trim it before you even start with your 2 opposite sides, and all that I did is just take my ruler, match it up, trim it, and now I don't have to worry about that little extras that was just hanging there. So but let's get back into what we were doing, our side unit, and notice it. I'm gonna push this. I'm gonna find, this is my 1/4 inch point right there. There's a 1/4 inch point right there. It's 1/4 inch from this side, 1/4 inch from here. So this is how I find that point, and I need to pin it exactly on that point right there. And now I'm gonna stitch, lock your seam and stitch straight down, and then later on when I flip, I'm gonna have a beautiful, beautiful unit. Okay, I'm gonna pin this way so it's turning on for us really nice, because I want to show you guys how we now add another background piece to this block. So right now we would finish sewing this to this. We're gonna add 1 more of the units on this side. So 1 more because we have 4 total, and now we are gonna be adding another piece right here. And basically what you're doing, you're just sewing 1 area at a time. You constantly marking and pinning point to point, point to point, and sewing this way. Now notice it, what I like you to remember is, if there is any seam allowances in your way, make sure you push them away. I just cut half of the diamonds. We have a full diamonds here, but the outside blocks have a half a diamond on the outside and then a full one right here. I cut the half a diamond to show you how I'm going to put one in. So look at this. I'm going to place my piece right sides together. I am not gonna worry about anything else. I'm not gonna try to match this right away. No, I'm only gonna worry about 1 area at a time. And again, right now I have a pin here from, because we didn't have that sewn, but normally this would be all sewn, and all that you would have to do is pin again to this point right there, the point that we marked it for the previous sewing. And again right here, if there is a sewing point, we have one right there, and we have one on the point on the diamond. I will sew from here to here. Make sure you lock it, and keep going. Once I finish this, that's what I'm gonna go ahead, fold this gently so I can move this side to this area. Do you see? I just fold this there, and I'm gonna be sewing from here straight out just to the sewing point, leaving a 1/4 inch allowances that I can get into that area and finish it up. Oh guys, a little bit of pinning, a little bit of sewing. I have some work to do because I want to keep working on my blocks. I think this may be a little helpful tips for you if you decide to do the Supernova quilt. Once you have your diamonds put in and your outside half diamonds, you be sewing rows, and the rows gonna be going this way, so that way you can go ahead and do a longer seams from point to point. And there's gonna be a secondary design happen right here where all the pine bergs blocks gonna be coming together. Little bit of patience, a lot of pinning, and you can do it. I hope you enjoy this wonderful Supernova design, and I hope you decide to make one. Happy quilting!